You probably know Xiaomi for their suspiciously good value smartphones, but what you might not have known is the sheer number of other gadgets they make. I'm talking smart pillows, 3D printers, even smart water guns, and they're all incredibly well rated. So, it's time to test these for ourselves. Are they actually just the best value for money gadgets that we're not using yet? So let's start with Xiaomi's motion sensor nightlight, which I managed to get for $9. And honestly, this feels like such a win. I've used a lot of motion lights before, but never built like this. So instead of the light being the thing that sticks onto your surface, it's the stand that sticks onto the surface, and then your light just magnetically attaches to the stand, which is absolutely amazing because it means if you wanted to put this motion light on a bedside table, you put it like this. If you wanted to clip it to a wall using its side, you clip it like this. If you wanted to put it onto your ceiling facing downward, you clip it like this. So I'm gonna see how close I need to get to that light for it to turn on. What on earth? I must be at least 5 meters away from it. That is easily 2 times the range of any other nightlight I've used. This is actually so perfect for either drawers that get a little bit too dark, or just sticking it in a bathroom so that when you gotta go at night, you can see without vaporizing your retinas by turning on your main light. Look at this. You can even mess around with the settings on the Xiaomi app. So this is how bright the light gets. This is how long the light stays lit up for after it's been triggered. That is actually a complete steal for $9. I think we're gonna get one of these for every bedroom in the house. 9.5 out of 10. Moving up to $30 now, this is the company's portable electric kettle, which is quite a unique idea. I don't think I've ever seen something quite like it before. So it's like a thermos, it keeps your warm drinks warm, they're claiming for about 6 hours. But the interesting thing is that when you plug the thing in, it turns into a kettle that can actually do the boiling. Things so minimalist I can't find the on button. Oh, it's doing it, and it's really fast. You can actually see it climbing pretty much every second. So the temperature increase does start to slow down as it reaches boiling point. It's getting there, but it's taking just as long to boil 1 cup of water as a normal kettle would take to boil like 4. I mean, it's quite well thought out. You know, it's got steam vents here, which you do want with a kettle. I love the fact that it has a screen on it, and it actually does add value. And apparently, I really hope this works, it doesn't leak when it's upside down or shaking around in your backpack. Please work. I saw 1 rogue droplet, which to be fair at this temperature could be enough to cause a problem. I don't know, this product feels like a bit of a miss to me. Because like, you wake up in the morning, you make your coffee at home, you take it to work and it's still hot because it's in your thermos, so why do you need it to be a kettle? I mean, maybe if you live on your own, this would be quite a nice size just to boil enough water for 1 person, but then only if you never plan on having friends over. It's not even like you can use it for camping, because where are you going to get a main socket from? Feels like a 5 out of 10 to me. Very competent. I just don't get it. Now let's skip ahead a bit all the way to the Xiaomi 3D printer, just so that we can get this bad boy running while we test the other products. And I've got to say, that looks really cool. So you might know that the vast majority of basic home 3D printers are filament printers, which means you load them up with plastic, they have a heater which melts that plastic, deposits it in its new arrangement, and then that plastic dries as it cools. But this uses liquid resin cartridges. Yeah, can confirm. Definitely not solid. So you load this resin into the machine, and if you look closely, you'll see the machine is peppered with tiny little bulbs. Those emit ultraviolet light, which causes a chemical reaction in this resin fluid, and that causes this resin to solidify in position. And this is meant to be better than filament printers in a lot of ways because it can create 3D objects without that horrible wiry finish that you get from the way that filament printers work. So let's find a model that we like the look of. Oh, this is cool. You can actually get it to print a vase. Oh, doesn't this look just adorable? Oh, wow. So you can fully preview the 3D model of the thing that you're about to print before you hit go, just to make sure you're happy with it from every angle. Oh my God, it actually shows you all the supporting structures that it's going to have to build as well to create that model. And it's highlighted them in gray so you know the bits that you're going to have to snap off once the model's made, as well as giving you like a full dimension map of the model. This is actually so consumer friendly for what can often be a very complex and daunting process. I guess that means print. It says open a window. That's not really going to be an option here. Oh, really cool mechanism for this self-adjusting arm. Oh look, it's bubbling away. So it's releasing resin into the chamber. I have a feeling this is going to take a little bit of time to make, so we'll come back to this. Now this one is easily one of Xiaomi's most well-received products ever. I've heard a lot about this, considering it's a cordless screwdriver, which also happens to be the winner of the IF Design Award. Holy moly. I mean, I'm not a massive, hey, come look at my toolbox kind of guy, but this I can see the appeal of. It's so pretty. It charges via USB-C, which is absolutely awesome compared to the micro USB or worse still, proprietary battery packs that some others use. It's really clean. You can't actually, fittingly I suppose, see a single screw in sight on the design. And I love the way that it stores these little drill bits. The only thing that concerns me is it doesn't sound all that powerful. Actually, let's test that theory. So this is a cabinet we were assembling earlier for the house, and this is about as strenuous a task as I've needed a screwdriver for. Yes, construction is my passion. The drill bits magnetically clip onto the screwdriver, and then when you hold the trigger while it's in neutral, you get a ring light so that your screws are Twitch stream ready, and then you flick the dial to the right to screw stuff in, and then you flick it to the left to unscrew stuff. So I guess if I want to take this out, this is like child's play for it. This honestly feels like another easy 9 out of 10. It is every single thing that a screwdriver needs to be for 95% of people, apart from being able to stand up on its own. Why did I do that? But clearly, Xiaomi was not done cooking, because after this thing came out and it was such a success, they went ahead and topped it with the precision screwdriver, which looks an awful lot like a power bank. I want to capture this satisfaction on camera. It's like the feeling when you're really thirsty and you crack open an ice cold can of Coke. And then on the inside, the precision screwdriver is, well, a lot thinner. It's, as the name suggests, more precise. So you could use this to take apart a watch or a smartphone, and it lasts even longer. This thing does 180 screws per charge, which is already enough for like an entire home's worth of IKEA furniture. This can do 400. Every single one of these drill bits magnetically attaches into the case. Oh, Xiaomi. It's fair to say these will be the screwdrivers that we keep around the new house. I feel like I could write with this.
Probably actually could.
Oh yeah, you can. So far at least, I gotta say, this stuff is really good. I actually think I like Xiaomi's gadgets more than I like their phones. But let's see if that continues with the smart laser measure. So first impression, the hardware is very much like the screwdriver in that it feels like it's exactly what it needs to be and nothing more. So the whole thing is one button. You put the measure somewhere, you tap that one button, it fires out a laser, and then a receiver sitting on the measure will tell you how far away that laser stops. Okay, so 0.563. Okay, tape me. Hey. So I'm getting that as 0.562.5. It's bang on. You can then double tap that button and it changes whether you're including the length of the body or just measuring from the end, which is quite important because let's say you're trying to measure the length of a wall, and the way that you're doing that is by placing this on one of the ends. Then to get the full measurement of the wall, you would need to include however much space this takes up. Trisha?
Yes.
You are 1.058 meters away from me right now.
Okay, I'm going to keep going back.
You're 4.478 meters from me right now. The thing is, the range is actually enormous. This thing can actually measure anything up to 40 meters away. And it's only now that I'm realizing just how far that actually is. You'd never need more than that.
That's awesome.
Joes, do you want to know how far away you are from me? You are 1.853 meters from me.
I thought you were going to say tall then. I was like, not far off.
One day.
Yeah.
Still a growing lad. This is all good stuff, sure. But the question on my mind is, what makes this a smart laser measure? The Xiaomi app. This is actually really cool because the Xiaomi app that controls this is the same Xiaomi app that also connects to the motion lights and just about every other Xiaomi product. But also look at this, there must be like 100 different categories of products in here. And if I click on just one of them, like water heaters, oh my God, this is water heaters. Anyways, what does it allow you to do on this? So you can store your measurements, I guess that's handy, and how you can attach labels to those measurements so that you can refer back to them at any time. You share your measurements with your friends. Oh dear, everyone's shaking their heads at me. So it's got a calculator. Oh, it allows you to input all of your previous measurements taken on this and add them, subtract them, multiply them, divide them to get fast calculations of, let's say, the area of the room you're measuring. Yeah, really clever. What else? Drawing measurements. Oh my God. Whoa, wait, so if I take a measurement, oh my God, this is so cool. So all the measurements I've ever taken with this are at the bottom here, and I can just draw lines and then assign those lines to the measurements I've taken. It builds the top-down view of the room you're trying to measure, and it's exactly to scale. I feel like a lot of this stuff is not hard to implement once you've had the idea to implement it, but it's the fact that they've had the idea and crammed it into such a minimalist device that requires no thought to use. That's the impressive part. I have no notes. This is a 10 out of 10 product.
What? What, the first 10 you've ever given?
Maybe. Xiaomi's smart clock is another product that, if it is actually good, could well be perfect for this house. It could even be a permanent mainstay on our bedside tables. So at its core, it's a clock. Tells the time. If you hold down on the clock, you get 10 different clock faces to choose from, and then within each one, you can customize the colors of them. Do you know what's particularly impressive about this, though, is how smooth the interface is. Like, actually slicker than most phones at $50. And then all these other screens are other basic smartphone-like features. For example, weather, traffic, calendar, music from Spotify. Scroll down, play music.
Okay, music on Spotify.
Okay, I mean, it's not a hi-fi speaker, but there's plenty of thump here. You could happily listen to your morning tunes and not be upset. Let's try something a little more challenging. Hey, turn light on. That was easy. Turn off the light. That's not bad at all. So actually quite capable smart home functionality too. You're getting a lot of product here for something that doesn't really cost a whole lot more than like this. Not to mention the ritual-like routines you can set. So for example, I can set off an entire chain reaction just by saying, good morning.
Good afternoon. The time is 3:30 p.m. Currently in Ilford, it's 15 degrees and cloudy. Today, it'll be cloudy. Here's a joke to start your morning. What do you get when you put a vest on an alligator? An investigator. Have a great day.
Kind of makes me want to go back to sleep. Oh.
I'm not going to straight, fucking straight.
So welcome to my morning routine, guys. The only real downside is, I would say, the display. It's LCD, not OLED. So unlike a modern top-end OLED screen, which will make black pixels completely black, this thing will still emit a little bit of a glow at night. Still, it does everything that it's trying to do really quite capably. 8.5 out of 10. At $75 now, we have Xiaomi's monitor light bar, which is super interesting to me because we have a really clear point of reference. Back in the old house, I used to use a monitor light bar by BenQ. I talked a lot about how much I loved it in my perfect desk tour video, but this Xiaomi one is less than half the price of it, so if it actually is just as good, then game changer. So the reason that I love these lights so much is because unlike normal desk lamps, they don't take up any desk space, they don't need a mains plug, they just use the USB on the back of your monitor, and they are specifically designed to just light up your desk, avoiding both your eyes and your screen so as not to introduce glare. That's actually really satisfying. I love this little thing. I will say this wireless remote is a little bit on the light side, which means that it's not completely stable on a flat surface, unlike the BenQ one. But you've got to love how aggressively minimalist the thing is. You can't see a single button. And the controls are as simple as just rotate the dial to adjust your level of brightness, and then press and rotate to adjust the color temperature. That said, there are two really important features that I'm realizing this doesn't have that my BenQ light did. One, that even though you can change your color temperature here, the old light used to actually do that automatically throughout the day. So when you're working during the day, you have lots of blue light to keep you awake, and then in the evenings you have less of it so that you can start to wind down. And that light also had a second light on the back to shine onto the wall behind your monitor, which further reduces your eye strain by equalizing the brightness of the scene you're looking at. So I would say there is a place for this product if you just want a really clean desk lamp, but it's not the full shebang. 6 out of 10. Let's just check on this 3D printer quickly. Wow, that is so cool. It looks like Shrek emerging from the swamp. And it's saying it is 67% done. Not long to go. Now, so far with all of these affordable Xiaomi products, I think it's fair to say the value for money has been absolutely insane. But now that we're going into the $100 plus luxury tier with their perfume dispenser, my question is, does the value for money start to deteriorate? So again, I will say they have knocked it out the park when it comes to design. So it's powered by plugging it into your car's USB port. And to be honest, the cable being so short and thin kind of disappears. It's very elegant. I love how this, just like every other gadget here, has a USB-C connector and the glowing ring that shows you which scent is currently being released. Oh la la. So green is meant to be freshness. It kind of smells like walking through the forest just after it's rained, in a nice way. Purple is meant to be soothing. does this smell like? Body soap?
It smells very like a hotel.
It does. It smells like a hotel lobby.
Yeah.
It says check-in. That's what this is. And then orange is meant to be joy. I think it smells like oranges. Oh look, you can see it. We've got a like wispy little performance here. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, it's actually kind of potent.
Really full of joy.
I gotta say, it's a pretty smart little gadget. While it's on, it will sporadically release scent and then stop and then release more as it's needed. It will remember what setting you left it on when you turn the car off and on again. I way prefer the idea of something like this as opposed to the little hanging trees people get here. Or whatever the hell this thing is. Can I check the capacity of the cartridges? Oh yeah, look. So it's telling me they're all on 100% right now. We actually left this running outside for an hour yesterday. And so the fact that it's still saying 100% makes me think this will last quite a long time. So this to me feels, unlike some other Xiaomi products, not the cheap way of doing things. This is like the most expensive way possible to perfume your car. But do you still get what you pay for? Yes, absolutely. This is one sexy way to make your car smell good. 8.5 out of 10. Now, the massage gun is another chance for Xiaomi to make something just as good for less, considering that this thing is $120, whereas some massage guns I've used are $500. Ooh, this is some nice crinkly plastic. Let's give it a peel. Wow, that was not nearly as satisfying as it should have been. First thing that occurs to me, it's actually kind of cool that Xiaomi's design language is so consistent that their massage gun basically just looks like a scaled up version of their screwdriver. Just, don't get them mixed up. You've got 3 different heads. You've got a ball head that's somewhat cushioned. You've got a flat head, and then you... So it's meant to have a super quiet brushless motor. I can't even... Why do you need this? Fair play though, it is very quiet considering what it's able to do. Although, not so much when you start to turn the settings up. Wow! That is amazing though, it's almost like it's reaching ultrasonic speeds. It's actually going so fast that I don't even feel like I'm getting pummeled anymore, I just feel like really deep relief. But then also, it has a smart pressure sensor built in, so you actually have to push it a certain amount till it lights up white, which means that you're pushing the right amount, and then it's meant to go red when you're putting in too much, but... Ow! Ow! There's got to be the limit! Oh, wait, just stop! Oh, God. At that point, I might as well have just used the screwdriver. So the ball head will definitely be more forgiving than whatever this is. So if I use that instead, I should be able to show you the pressure sensing. Ah, see, that's nice. So you can see when I put a normal amount of pressure on, it goes white, and then when I put too much pressure, it will eventually... Ow! Okay, well, I would probably discount the smart pressure sensor as a feature you'll be banking on. And that's basically it. It's fairly simple, but it's not exactly lacking in features. I know some high-end Theraguns have like red light therapy and a proper screen to allow you to configure your settings completely, but this does actually feel just as high quality, and the massage it gives you is very much as thorough, which is an achievement for something a quarter of the price. And also the heat dissipation mechanism here is completely concealed, so nothing gets inside of this, even if you get a little sweaty while using it. Can't think why that might be. It's actually kind of crazy because this Xiaomi massage gun is actually less expensive than like a Theragun Mini, and this gives you a far better massage than this does. It's just that I'd still probably prefer to use this on the regular because this actually fits into a small side pocket of my backpack. The Xiaomi does not. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10, bolstered by the fact that it has an insane 13 hours of battery life. Now on first glance, the Xiaomi Pillow doesn't look like a product that even belongs in a tech video. It is very soft. Like, genuinely, this might be the comfiest pillow I've ever interacted with. But when you look at it, it's not particularly clear what makes it smart. I mean, it's got this weird alien-looking dongle thing coming out of it. But that's because almost the entirety of the pillow's functionality is based on the app. So the thing's got a bunch of absolutely tiny millimeter-scale sensors baked inside of it to measure changes in pressure, temperature, strain, and acceleration for anyone who's training for a marathon in their sleep, I guess. And it basically uses all these sensors to give you almost all of the same data that you would get from an Apple Watch or an Oura Ring or a Whoop Band, while being more affordable and also very comfy with its zero cotton material made with a natural vegetable oil extract. Is that vegetable by any chance spring onion? Anyways, I actually tested it last night. So I slept on this and I also wore the Apple Watch Series 10 at the same time. So let's compare statistics. Oh dear. So the Apple Watch is saying I slept for 8 hours and 40 minutes. And it says I fell asleep at, 16 past midnight. That seems about right. The Xiaomi Pillow is telling me I slept 6 hours and 26. And that I was awake until 3 a.m. No, it wasn't. Okay, so given that I've tested this quite a bit and it has been accurate in the past, and given that I do not remember being awake for the first 3 hours of my sleep, I don't think it would be very wise to trust the answers this thing gives you. But at the same time, man, when I look at the Xiaomi app and I see the thousands of products that can all neatly tie together into this one ecosystem, it is so tantalizing. The idea that I could have a smart pillow that, when I wake up in the morning, directly communicates to my smart blinds to tell them to open without even needing any kind of middle layer because they're part of this one app is so cool. But yeah, not too sure about this particular pillow. 4 out of 10. Now, I've tested quite a few water guns in my time. Cheap guns, fancy guns, but never one quite as ridiculous as Xiaomi's. I'm struggling to wrap my head around how a water gun can be worth $250. So let's get testing. Oh, it charges with USB-C, of course. Nice. So turn it on. Whoa, I didn't realize that's an LED strip. That is so cool. So then you stick it in the water, you push the trigger forward instead of back. You can actually see the water filling up using the LED strip. That's such a clever way to use what would otherwise be a gimmick. Oh yeah, and then the screen also tells you how much of your water tank is full. Probably go outside. So obviously it is cooler than every other water gun, but is it actually better? Because I just bought this for $15 and it's still electric. I'm just going to shoot Drisha.
This is the second time that I've been shot in a video.
Yeah, but see, so we've moved house and I left the kind of dummy at home that I was going to use, and I don't do this for me. I do this for the content. Okay, so where would you like to be? You know, you can choose. Choose where you'd like to be, anywhere. Okay, thank you for offering yourself for this cause. Okay, so this is a normal water gun. It looks like it's barely reaching you.
Yeah, it's like a garden sprinkler.
But to be fair, rate of fire, impressive. I'll just carry on trying to... And that's basically it for this gun. There's no alternate fire modes. I mean, technically there's an optical scope. I don't think it's going to get you very far. So that leads us to this. So first thing you notice is a display, like an actual fairly high resolution circular display. And that shows you the fire mode you're on. So if I click this rather unusually named mode swituk button on the side, it will take me between single fire mode and burst fire mode. So same distance. You tell me how much you feel this.
Okay. Okay, I felt that one.
You felt that 0 to 10?
I felt that like an 8.
Okay, like an 8. So let me try burst fire.
Oh God. Okay. 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 That's pretty cool. It actually
pretty
feels
cool.
like a water bullet.
I think it's definitely coming apart as it's approaching you. So it's not like when you pay $250 for a water gun, you're suddenly getting sniper-like accuracy at a distance. So from what I've understood, if I now hold down the trigger, I can actually charge up a super bullet of sorts. Okay, let's see. So hold down, you see this bar filling up, tells me I'm ready to go.
Okay. Okay. It feels like I should feel the impact because it's coming so fast.
Yeah.
It's just, it just kind of sprays out.
Yeah, it's not significantly more powerful.
Oh, I'm getting really...
Oh, sorry.
Okay, it's definitely more powerful.
It's getting more,
It's more powerful.
It's more powerful. That's all I wanted. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm trying to avoid your microphone. It feels like the kind of product that is so far beyond what you would normally expect to pay for a water gun that this isn't about being good value for money. It's not good value for money. It's, if you want the best of the best, this is that. 8 out of 10. Let's have a look. Whoa! What are you doing up there, buddy? That looks incredibly cursed. So you're meant to unscrew this, pull it out like so. I got swamp on my hand. Wow. And we're left with the cutest fella you've ever seen. Now, there are two downsides I can think of. One, that you've got to use these Xiaomi-only proprietary single-use resin cartridges, after which you throw them, which is not particularly environmentally friendly. But then also, It smells really bad. I've actually been holding my nose for the last 45 seconds, and we're probably going to need some industrial grade stuff to clean this room out. Still though, this is a way better result than I've ever seen come from a filament printer. 8 out of 10. And now for the flagship Big Daddy Xiaomi product. This is the one that I'd say Xiaomi has the biggest market penetration in, the electric scooter. I see these things all the time on the streets, but this is their new Scooter 4 Pro. And my clumsiest unboxing ever. Oh, there we go again. Nearly face planted. The first thing you notice is this is quite a bit taller than the average electric scooter, which is great for me because I'm usually ever so slightly craned over. And also the base feels wider. It's like the extra legroom seats on a plane. Let's take it for a spin. I'm a little scared for the acceleration. Oh, holy shit. Wow. I've tested electric scooters before. Never before with that much oomph. Oh. Whoa. I'm a hazard to myself and society with this. So I know that the speed of electric scooters is capped in most countries for your own safety. That doesn't mean this thing can't accelerate. And then, when you run out of battery, this is another massive improvement, the charger is magnetic, which is really important for something so valuable because it means if you accidentally walk on by it, that nearly hit you, I'm sorry. Your scooter's still standing. I mean, the thing even has regenerative braking, which is what electric cars use to recover some of their energy when you hit the brakes, which is what's actually increasing this thing's range from 45 kilometers last generation to 55 kilometers this generation. Squeeze me. Whoa. I mean, this, whoa, has to be the most polished, refined, high-tech electric scooter out there. Even the lights on the front and the back are extremely bright. There's reflectors all over for visibility on roads. And it's just such a smooth ride. And part of the reason why is these tires. They're bigger, which is good for shock absorption. But they're also made of Duragel that's apparently also self-sealing if you get a puncture. What? As if I needed to make this any more hazardous for myself. This is a plank of wood with a 2-inch nail sticking out of it. All right, off we go. Oh, this could be RIP. Oh, okay, that's definitely in there. Let's go back over. Let's really make sure it's done. This is why we can't have nice things here. Well, actually, I suppose we can, just temporarily. I think it's fair to say that's tested. So, well, there's just nothing here. So whether the tire has actually broken and self-repaired without me even realizing, or has just absorbed the entire impact of that nail without even puncturing, that is one durable piece of kit. So I gotta say, I'm personally more of a bike person. I like the idea of if I'm not using a car and having the most convenient way to get somewhere, then at least I'm getting some exercise while I'm at it. But if you're looking for a scooter, then this is everything it needs to be and more. 10 out of 10. And I will catch you in the next one. Woohoo! Oh my God.